Beloved chosen one, listen carefully. The world is loud, but heaven's entrance has never needed volume. The Son of God came wrapped not in noise but in stillness, and tonight, that same stillness wraps around you. You feel it, a tremor in your soul that isn't fear, but recognition. Something ancient yet alive is moving through the quiet of this moment. You are not here by coincidence. This message is not scrolling past you by accident. The light has found you again this Christmas. You have felt unseen for so long. Haven't you surrounded by noise, yet no one truly hears your heart? You've walked through seasons where silence felt like punishment, but now you're discovering it was preparation. God hides his greatest works in quiet places. Bethlehem was silent that night, but within that silence, eternity inhaled. The angels didn't gather crowds, they gathered shepherds. The king came in a whisper, and that whisper still echoes through your bones tonight. The light doesn't need applause to prove it's real, it simply shines. And right now, it's resting on you. Every moment you thought was wasted, every tear you shed alone has been building to this divine interruption. Heaven stops the noise of the world so you can hear one voice, the one who chose you before time began. You have been wrestling with meaning. You've asked, why do I feel different? Why can't I just be like everyone else? Because you were never meant to blend in. The spirit within you is allergic to conformity. You are not ordinary, and your life was never designed for average outcomes. You were shaped for significance that terrifies darkness itself. It is written in the book of Isaiah, chapter 9, verse 2. The people walking in darkness have seen a great light. On those living in the land of deep darkness, a light has dawned. That light is not far away, it is already within you. You didn't stumble upon this message, heaven led you here. The same God who guided wise men by a star has guided your steps by his Spirit. You thought you were wandering, but you were being positioned. Destiny has a way of disguising itself as delay. And now, in this divine pause, the light speaks softly. You don't need to strive to be seen. You only need to stand still and let me reveal you. That's what this Christmas is about, revelation through rest. Christ didn't enter the world with armies or thrones. He entered through surrender. That's how his glory will enter your life too. Beloved, the heavens are not ignoring you. Heaven is observing how you respond to stillness. Can you worship even when you don't feel the noise of angels? Can you believe even when it's quiet? Because real faith grows in silence. Real faith doesn't need signs to survive. It only needs one whisper from the Almighty. Listen closely, this season is not about gifts wrapped under trees, but about the gift God wrapped in flesh, who still wraps himself around your brokenness today. You have been searching for something to fill the ache, but what you're really searching for is alignment. The light is not calling you to do more, it's calling you to become more by being still, by listening, by remembering who you are. The same way he came without noise, he is coming again into your life, your thoughts, your heart. And this time, he's not coming to visit. He's coming to stay. Every fear you've been carrying begins to dissolve in his presence. Every doubt that once chained you now trembles, no, because when light enters, darkness has no argument left. So take a deep breath. The King has arrived again, not in a manger, but in your spirit. The world may not notice, no, but heaven does. The angels who sang over shepherds are now singing over you. You, chosen one, are heaven's announcement. You are the proof that God still moves in silence and still calls names that the world overlooks. Do not rush this moment. Let it settle. Feel it. The light didn't find you by mistake, it found you because you were ready. The waiting was never wasted, it was womb time for your becoming. Now, as this message finds you, let your heart whisper back, I receive it. Because the moment you say that, heaven records your yes as a decree. You have no idea what breakthroughs are already being released because of this quiet yes. Beloved chosen one, this Christmas, remember the King didn't come with noise, he came with purpose. And now that purpose lives in you. If this message stirred your spirit, like, share, and subscribe to stay connected to this flow of divine revelation. Let the light that found you keep shining through you. And as an act of prophetic alignment, comment below the number 777, the number of divine completion, to declare that the light has found you this Christmas. You were never forgotten. Every moment you thought heaven was silent, the light was tracing your name in eternal fire. Every sigh you released into the air was caught by the same hands that shaped galaxies. You may not have seen the answers you prayed for, but that does not mean God was absent. It means he was designing something deeper than your request. The silence you mistook for neglect was the sound of preparation. There were nights you cried and no one knew, days you smiled but felt hollow inside. You wondered if your prayers dissolved into the ceiling or if anyone was truly listening. Yet heaven was nearer than your breath. The light did not abandon you. It was simply hidden beneath the weight of your process. You could not see it because it was forming roots, anchoring purpose into your pain. You have walked through seasons where everything seemed stripped away. Relationships faded, opportunities closed, familiar paths disappeared. It felt like punishment, but it was pruning. You were being refined, not rejected. God had to remove the noise so that when his voice returned, you could recognize it. The ones who forget you were never meant to carry your promise. The doors that closed were protecting your destiny from premature exposure. You see, the light never stops watching. It observes the tears, the discipline, the decisions you made when no one applauded. Heaven does not record applause, it records endurance. Every time you refused to give up, you were engraving faith into eternity. Every time you held your peace when misunderstood, the angels took note. Every time you worshiped through pain, the fragrance reached the throne, as was spoken in the sacred writings of the prophet Isaiah. Chapter 49, verse 16. See, I have engraved you on the palms of my hands. Your walls are ever before me. That means your name is not forgotten, it is inscribed. You are not a passing thought in heaven, you are a divine memory that never fades. God cannot forget what he has carved into himself. You are not overlooked, you are preserved. Chosen one, you have to understand something about divine timing. God delays only what he intends to deliver in perfection. You were never denied, only developed. He was teaching you how to carry the weight of what you asked for. A blessing too early becomes a burden. That is why he hid you. It wasn't punishment, it was protection. There were moments you thought, everyone else is moving forward while I remain still. But stillness was your sanctuary. God was rebuilding your foundation in silence. While others were racing, you were being rooted. You were learning to trust not in open doors, but in divine presence. You were learning to walk by faith when vision seemed blurred. This is the pattern of heaven before revelation. There is often isolation. Before crowns, there are caves. Before light, there is darkness. And in that darkness, the light begins to pulse. You felt forgotten, but that's when you were most seen. Heaven cannot promote what has not first been proven in silence. You thought the delay meant denial, but it meant refinement. The fire you passed through was not meant to destroy, it was meant to purify. Gold does not complain while melting. It simply becomes what it was always meant to be. And so have you. Now you can see it, can't you? Looking back, you realize that the moments of silence were sacred. The unanswered prayers led to greater wisdom. The losses created space for glory. The people who left made room for divine replacements. You are no longer bitter about what left, because you recognize that what remains is holy. Beloved, heaven's memory of you never fades. You have been carried through storms you didn't even recognize. You've been protected from enemies you didn't even know existed. Every unseen mercy was an invisible miracle. The light never lost sight of you. When you wandered, it followed. When you doubted, it whispered. And when you broke, it held you. That's what love looks like, unseen, unwavering, unending. And now, the same light that remembered you through your silence begins to rise again within you. You are stepping into the visible after being faithful in the invisible. You are about to see what heaven saw all along. You were never forgotten. You were being remembered into destiny. Even now, the light leans closer, whispering your name like a promise carried through eternity. You are not a shadow in his story. You are a verse still being written by the breath of God. The waiting has ended. The unveiling begins. Heaven remembers and the light will reveal. Let peace settle in your soul like dawn over still waters. You were never invisible to heaven, only hidden for divine timing. Every heartbeat echoes purpose. Every step carries prophecy. The light has not only found you, it has claimed you. Your story, chosen one, has only just begun. Chosen one. The weight you carried was never random, it was sacred preparation. Every pressure, every unseen tear, every long night of endurance was shaping you into someone who could hold divine fire without breaking. You thought it was punishment, but heaven called it training. God does not waste pain. He repurposes it for destiny. When you carried burdens too heavy for words, heaven took note. The times you stayed silent while misunderstood became altars of surrender. Each trial pressed you deeper into your purpose. And though it hurt, it was holy. The cracks that pain created were not flaws, they were openings where light could enter. Do you remember the moments when you almost gave up? When you said, "I can't do this anymore." Even then, the Spirit whispered, "Just one more step." And that single step became the reason you are still standing now. You didn't know it, but heaven was cheering for you while hell trembled at your persistence. We find in the book of Romans, chapter 5, verses 3 to 4. We glory in tribulations, also knowing that tribulation produces perseverance, perseverance, character, and character, hope. Those words are not distant, they are your reflection. You didn't just survive tribulation, you were refined by it. What was meant to break you only baptized you in endurance. Every time you rose after falling, you proved that you were marked by divine resilience. The world cannot understand why you're still here. But heaven knows you were forged, not finished. You see, the weight you carried was not meant to crush you, but to crown you. A seed feels pressure before it becomes a tree. The soil presses down, darkness surrounds it, yet something divine happens beneath the surface. The seed splits open not to die, but to live differently. Utat, too, had to break open so that the hidden potential within you could finally emerge. Every disappointment stretched your spirit. Every closed door made you dig deeper into prayer. You learned to trust without evidence, to love without return, to keep walking even when the road disappeared. That is strength the world cannot imitate. That is what separates the chosen from the comfortable. The light was never testing your strength, it was proving your faith. God allowed the wait so you could discover your wings. The heaviness that almost buried you has now become your testimony. When others look at you and see scars, heaven sees scrolls, each mark a record of divine encounter. There is glory in the grind, beauty in the breaking, holiness in the hardship, because it is there, in the struggle, that your heart becomes a temple. It is there that you meet the God who does not just calm storms but walks with you through them. Chosen one, you are standing now where many would have fallen. That alone is a miracle. You have carried loss and still loved. You have faced delay and still believed. You have been wounded and still worshipped. That is not weakness, that is worship in motion. The pain didn't make you bitter, it made you pure. Even now, heaven smiles upon the strength you didn't know you had. The light within you has matured through fire. You are no longer who you were before the storm. You have become the answer to prayers you once prayed. And soon, what once felt heavy will feel holy. When you look back, you will see that the pain was prophecy. It spoke of who you were becoming. The very weight that bowed your head is now the reason your spirit stands tall. Heaven trusted you with pressure because it saw in you a warrior of endurance. And now, as you rise, remember nothing you carried was wasted. Every ache, every test, every silent battle, it was all writing your divine resume. You are the proof that God refines through reality. You have been trusted with trials because your spirit could be trusted with triumph. Type, I rise again. Let those words anchor in your soul. Comment it as a declaration not of pride, but of prophecy. For even heaven takes notice when a chosen one declares resurrection after the wait. You are not what happened to you. You are what survived it. When you type, I rise again, you are not just leaving a comment, you are declaring resurrection over every part of your life that pain tried to bury. Those 3 words are a covenant between your spirit and heaven's promise that nothing broken will remain broken. I rise again is a war cry disguised as peace. It tells darkness that its grip failed. It tells fear that faith still stands. It reminds your soul that even after loss, you are not done, you are reborn through divine fire, rising stronger than before. Let I rise again echo beyond the screen and into the unseen. When you write it, angels record it as testimony. Heaven hears it as surrender wrapped in strength. Say it not as a wish, but as identity. You are the rising, the redeemed, the chosen flame. Bethlehem was small, but so are seeds. The birthplace of eternal hope was hidden in a village barely worth mentioning on maps. No grand palaces, no royal fanfare, only straw, stillness, and the breath of destiny resting in a manger. It was heaven's quiet rebellion against human expectation. That's how God works, not through the impressive, but through the obedient. Chosen one. You have misunderstood smallness. The world taught you to despise beginnings that don't glitter, but heaven delights in them. You thought the size of your start determined the size of your purpose, yet the truth is reversed. God hides greatness inside what appears insignificant. The manger was proof that glory can be wrapped in simplicity. The light entered a stable because pride had no place for him. It wasn't about comfort, it was about symbolism. He came to show that true majesty can dwell in the ordinary. The same principle is alive in you now. Your life might not look like a palace, but the king is there. Your calling may not be public yet, but it carries eternal weight. According to the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 13, verse 31, the word declares the kingdom of heaven is like a mustard seed, which a man took and planted in his field. That tiny seed becomes the greatest of trees. The message is clear: small beginnings do not limit divine outcomes. Your dreams, though fragile, are not fruitless. God placed them within you like seeds buried under pressure, waiting for divine timing to break through. You've looked around and compared your life to others, wondering why their fields seem greener. But remember this: what grows fastest often fades quickest. The slow growth is sacred growth. The deeper the root, the longer the fruit lasts. Heaven does not rush purpose, it matures it. When Mary held Jesus, she didn't hold a miracle that looked miraculous. He looked like any other child, yet the universe bowed to his cry. That's how divine things appear, ordinary to sight, but eternal in essence. The same spirit that overshadowed her now rests on you. What God has conceived in your spirit may seem small, but it is holy. Every time you doubt your progress, remember Bethlehem. God could have chosen Jerusalem's throne, but he chose a manger's humility. He could have appeared with thunder, but he chose stillness. You, too, are being shaped in silence. Your greatness is hidden not to diminish you, but to protect you until the appointed hour. Small doesn't mean forgotten. Hidden doesn't mean unworthy. You are like a seed in the soil, buried but becoming. What feels like darkness is actually incubation. Heaven is forming roots beneath your stillness. The soil of obscurity is the womb of significance. There are people who will underestimate you because they cannot see your roots. Let them. You are not obligated to explain divine timing. Seeds don't defend themselves, they just grow. You will know the time has come when what once pressed you down begins to push you upward. You are in the Bethlehem phase of your calling, the quiet season before recognition, the stable before the throne. Don't rush it. The light that began there changed the world. The same light in you will do the same. What seems small now will become a testimony that outlives you. Chosen one, learn to bless your small beginnings. Celebrate the hidden days, for they are sacred. The world honors platforms. Heaven honors preparation. You are not behind. You are being built. Every unnoticed act of faith, every quiet prayer, every unseen seed of obedience, heaven counts it all. Your Bethlehem may look unimpressive, but angels still visit there. The favor of God often hides where pride refuses to look. You do not need a stage for significance. The light shines brightest in simplicity. And when it is time, what was once obscure will be undeniable. Let peace settle in your heart. What God planted in you will not fail to bloom. Even if no one sees it now, heaven does. Even if the world dismisses it, eternity celebrates it. Every promise has its manger moment, its season of humility before glory unfolds. Bethlehem's silence became the cradle of salvation. Your quiet season will become the birthplace of impact. Don't despise the soil, for it is holding the seed of destiny. And when the light fully rises through you, the world will know the small beginning was always sacred. Every destiny begins in a quiet corner before it echoes across eternity. What is small now will one day speak loudly of God's faithfulness. The same light that filled Bethlehem is forming inside your own story, turning simplicity into splendor and preparing your spirit for a divine unveiling. So be still and let growth happen unseen. Your hidden roots are stretching toward eternity's water. The soil may be silent, but heaven is not. Soon, what was buried will break forth with beauty, and every humble beginning will reveal the fingerprints of divine purpose upon your life. Heaven's whisper often comes when your thoughts are the loudest. You felt it those quiet moments when everything around you keeps moving, yet something inside you pauses. That pause is not confusion. It is divine interruption. God does not shout to get your attention. He simply breathes peace into your restlessness. Beloved chosen one, your overthinking has been loud lately. You've been trying to fix what only faith can heal. You've replayed conversations, reimagined decisions, tried to understand why certain things unfolded as they did. But the truth is simple. The light has been guiding you even when you couldn't feel it. His whispers often sound like stillness. When life becomes noisy, heaven turns down the volume so your spirit can listen again. You may think the silence is distance, but it is actually closeness, the kind that doesn't need words to be real. When God speaks softly, it is because He is near. When He removes noise, it is to restore clarity. Scripture says in the Gospel of John, chapter 14, verse 27, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you, I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled and do not be afraid. You've been searching for peace like it's something you must earn, but peace is a gift. You don't have to chase it, you only have to receive it. The light doesn't demand performance, it invites surrender. Peace enters not when everything is solved, but when everything is surrendered. In this holy season, let that truth settle into you like gentle rain. The light is not asking for perfection, only permission to enter the places you've kept guarded. When you stop striving, grace begins to move freely again. It's not about doing more, it's about letting the light do what only it can. You are learning to rest differently now. Not the kind of rest that escapes reality, but the kind that rebuilds it. You are learning that divine calm is not found in empty rooms, but in full surrender. Even your confusion is not wasted, it becomes the soil where trust grows deeper roots. Chosen one, do you feel that quiet tug in your chest? That's heaven saying, I'm still here. The light hasn't left your story, it's simply leading you gently into peace that the world can't counterfeit. And as you listen, let your heart open a little wider, not only to receive, but to share. When the light touches you, it invites you to become a reflection of that same love. Every word spoken here, every whisper shared is like a candle lit in someone's dark room. You are part of that light now. If these messages have spoken to your soul, gently let your light echo, press like, share this flame forward, and subscribe so the glow can keep traveling. Each click is like striking another match in the hands of heaven, sending warmth into corners you may never see, but God surely will. And if your heart feels moved, you may pour a drop of oil into this lamp. Donate not from duty, but from devotion. Think of it as adding one golden drop of fuel to the fire that comforts others in their night. It is never asked as payment. It is offered as partnership. Your support is like rain on a thirsty seed, quiet, life-giving, unseen yet transforming. Whether it's a word shared, a heart opened, or a small gift given, each act tells heaven, I want the light to keep burning. It doesn't have to be large. Even a widow's mite became eternal in Scripture because it was given from the heart. What matters is not the size of the gift, but the spirit behind it. Every seed of support keeps this light alive for others who need the same peace you've received today. Imagine your giving as oil poured into a lamp. Each drop extends the flame a little longer, ensuring it reaches another wandering soul in the dark. If you feel led, follow that nudge quietly. Let your gift, your share, your prayer, whatever form it takes, become your yes to heaven's whisper. And remember, peace cannot be bought, but it can be multiplied through love. When you share what touches you, you become a messenger yourself. When you give from gratitude, you join the story of light that began in Bethlehem and still burns through hearts like yours. So breathe again. Rest again. Let peace fill the spaces where worry once lived. The light is still here, steady, soft, sacred. You are not forgotten. You are being spoken to by the one who speaks through stillness. Like, share, subscribe, and if your spirit stirs, donate as a quiet offering, never pressure, always purpose. Each act is a whisper saying, "Let the light keep shining." Every act of giving, no matter how small, becomes a glowing ember in the fireplace of heaven. When you give from love, your kindness turns into light that never burns out. Let your offering, your share, your simple yes echo eternity's warmth. The light remembers every gesture, every spark of generosity, and multiplies it into endless peace. The star that moved because of you. Chosen one, do you understand the weight of that truth? The same light that guided wise men across deserts has been tracking your journey through darkness. You think you stumbled here by accident, but heaven has been arranging your coordinates since before you knew your own name. The wise men followed a star, but the star followed prophecy, and prophecy followed obedience. When heaven speaks, creation responds. That is why your spirit has been restless lately. It's sensing alignment. Something holy is moving toward you, and heaven refuses to let you miss it. You've been noticing strange coincidences, songs, words, moments that seem to speak directly to your soul. It's not chance, it's choreography. God has been writing direction into your days. What others call randomness, heaven calls revelation. The light does not wander, it searches intentionally. As the ancient scriptures record in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 2, verse 9, the star they had seen when it rose went ahead of them until it stopped over the place where the child was. Do you see it? The star didn't just shine, it moved. It adjusted its position to point the way to destiny. Heaven's light is never static when it concerns the chosen. In the same way, God has been repositioning things around you, hearts, opportunities, timings, even delays. What you thought was chaos was divine navigation. The star guided the wise, not the proud. It moved for seekers, not spectators. The light responds to pursuit. When your heart leans toward obedience, creation itself begins to shift in your favor. Mountains move, paths open, people appear. You are not chasing blessings, they are finding you because you've chosen surrender. Think about it, those men left comfort, wealth, and reputation behind to follow a single sign in the sky. They didn't have a map, only trust. And every night, that trust was rewarded by movement. The light adjusted its course until it rested exactly where they were meant to be. That's the kind of faith heaven rewards, not perfection, but pursuit. Chosen one, your pursuit has not been ignored. Heaven has watched your quiet obedience, your secret prayers, your small yeses when no one noticed. Each one became a beacon, calling the light closer. You didn't have to chase miracles, you simply had to stay available. You may not have seen the full picture yet, but you're closer than you realize. The same light that guided them to a manger is guiding you to your purpose. And when you arrive, you'll understand why the road had to twist, why the timing had to stretch, why the silence was necessary. The star only stops when the promise is in sight. Even now, the light is hovering over you, waiting for your next step of faith. Heaven does not reveal the whole path at once, because revelation without relationship becomes religion. God reveals in rhythm with your surrender. Every yes you give creates a new glow ahead. Do not be afraid of not knowing. The wise men didn't need certainty, they needed presence. The same is true for you. The light doesn't just want to guide you, it wants to dwell in you. When that happens, you stop following direction and start becoming direction. Others will find their way because your obedience shines. You have been wondering why certain people were removed, why certain doors didn't open. Now you know it wasn't rejection, it was redirection. Heaven never closes a door unless the next one leads closer to destiny. The light moves not in circles but in purpose. Chosen one, this is your moment to realign. The star hasn't stopped, it's simply waiting for your response. Lift your eyes from your fear and fix them on faith. The same God who positioned a star for shepherds and kings has orchestrated this moment to remind you you are seen, guided, and chosen. When you finish hearing this message, don't rush away. Let your soul answer back. The heavens still respond to hearts that respond. If you can feel the light tugging at you right now, acknowledge it. It's not emotion, it's encounter. Comment the number 111 below. It represents divine awakening, new beginnings, and spiritual alignment. It's heaven's way of saying, one light, one path, one purpose. Let this number be your prophetic sign that you are stepping into clarity, that the light has realigned your course for destiny. When you type 111, you are not just writing numbers, you are acknowledging divine oneness. It means your mind, your heart, and your purpose are aligning with heaven's rhythm, moving together toward the path chosen only for you. 111 is heaven's code for awakening the moment when destiny begins to breathe. It whispers that your steps are no longer random. Every move now carries divine precision. Every heartbeat echoes God's timing and direction. As you comment 11, let it be a declaration of readiness. You're telling heaven, I'm aligned, aware, and available. Those digits are your spiritual signature, proof that the light has found its reflection in you. When the room grew darker, you began to glow. That is how heaven always works. It doesn't remove the night. It makes stars. The darkness that tried to bury you became the very canvas God used to reveal His brilliance through you. Chosen one, your glow was not born in comfort, it was born in battle. You remember the seasons when the shadows felt endless, when joy seemed like a language you no longer spoke. But here you are, still breathing, still believing. Every tear that fell in secret became oil for your lamp. Every heartbreak became kindling for your fire. You thought the pain would destroy you, but heaven was refining you for visibility. It is written in the book of Psalms, chapter 18, verse 28. You said, Lord, keep my lamp burning, my God turns my darkness into light. That verse is not a story from someone else's life, it is your reflection. Every time you faced loss, God turned the ashes into light. Every time you stood in confusion, heaven turned chaos into clarity. Your endurance became illumination. You didn't just survive the storm, you began to glow within it. You see, the darkness never had authority, it only had opportunity. It could surround you, but it could never swallow you. The light inside you was stronger than the night around you. The enemy didn't fear your weakness. He feared what your endurance would reveal. He attacked not because you were failing, but because you were glowing. When the room grew darker, you didn't shrink, you shifted. Your soul started to remember its divine source. Every spiritual bruise became a testimony. Every prayer whispered through trembling lips became a declaration of defiance against despair. Heaven never asked you to be unbreakable, it asked you to stay available. Do you remember how you once questioned your worth? You said, why me, not realizing that heaven answers? Because you were made for this. The fire didn't expose your fragility, it exposed your anointing. It proved that what God placed in you cannot be extinguished by circumstance. You've been through nights that would have buried most people. Yet somehow, you radiate peace. That is not luck, it's transformation. The glow in your spirit is evidence that the light himself took residence within you. What tried to end you only enlarged your capacity for grace. Chosen one, every shadow carries a hidden lesson. The pain taught you compassion. The silence taught you to listen. The waiting taught you to worship without results. You've become dangerous to darkness now because you no longer depend on ideal conditions to shine. You've learned that light doesn't ask permission to exist. It doesn't negotiate with darkness, it simply appears. That is what your life is doing now, appearing as testimony. Every scar on your soul has become a verse of worship. Every crack in your heart is where glory leaks through. You may still see some darkness around you, but do not fear it. Even in creation, God didn't remove the night. He simply commanded, "Let there be light." That same command echoes in your spirit every time you choose faith over fear. You are the fulfillment of that first divine decree. The glow within you is not ordinary, it's prophetic. It tells the world that light is still stronger, that broken people can still become beacons, that silence can still sing. Heaven uses the humbled, the rejected, the unseen to carry its most powerful illumination. You are proof of that truth. When the room grows darker again, and it will remember this darkness cannot touch what God has already claimed. The same hands that kept the flame alive in your lowest moment will fan it again when life tests you. You are not fragile light. You are eternal spark. The reason the darkness pressed harder is because it saw what was coming. It knew that your glow was not temporary emotion, it was divine ignition. Every time you refused bitterness, your flame brightened. Every time you chose forgiveness over revenge, your glow deepened. You were unknowingly partnering with heaven to push back night. Now, the glow that began in secret will not stay hidden. People will look at you and wonder why peace radiates from your eyes, why your words calm storms, why your presence feels like home. It is because you carry light that remembers where it came from. You are walking proof that even in the darkest hour, hope is not lost, it's hidden inside you, waiting to be revealed. What you've survived has made you luminous. You don't just reflect the light, you embody it. So keep walking through rooms others fear to enter. Keep speaking peace into chaos. Keep shining quietly in places that seem forgotten. You don't have to announce your glow, the darkness will testify to it for you. And when you find yourself surrounded again by shadows, smile. The light within you is not fading, it's focusing. Every night will eventually bow to dawn. And you, chosen one, are the reason the dawn still comes. Word count 721. You were never meant to fit in. That ache you've carried, the constant feeling that you see life differently, that you don't quite belong, it's not a flaw, it's a signature. Heaven etched distinction into your soul long before the world tried to label you. You were designed to stand out in purpose, not blend into patterns. Since childhood, you felt that quiet divide. Others chased crowds, you chased meaning. Where they found comfort in noise, you found peace in solitude. You often wondered why your spirit felt heavier, deeper, more aware. It's because you were born carrying spiritual sensitivity, a radar for truth that the ordinary cannot comprehend. According to the writings in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 5. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. I appointed you as a prophet to the nations. This isn't metaphor. This is your divine blueprint. You weren't created randomly. You were crafted for resonance. Every part of you, your sensitivity, your discernment, your longing for something real, is heaven's evidence that you were made to shift atmospheres, not simply exist within them. You've tried to explain it to people who could never understand. They mistook your quiet for weakness, your kindness for naivety, your conviction for pride. But it was none of these things. It was calling, unmistakable, inconvenient, holy calling. God isolated you to educate you in ways crowds never could. The wilderness became your classroom, and silence became your syllabus. You watched others build quickly while your progress felt slow. You saw them celebrated while you were overlooked. But the difference was purpose. Heaven wasn't building you for a moment, it was preparing you for endurance. The foundation under your destiny is deep because the weight of your calling is great. Chosen one, you are not behind. You are being set apart. There's a reason certain friendships faded, why some doors closed, why your heart outgrew old places. You didn't lose your way, you simply outgrew environments too small for what you carry. You were never rejected, you were released. The call on your life doesn't fit neatly into human systems. You are not wired for average rhythms. The light within you doesn't function by the world's calendar. That's why you sometimes feel out of sync. It's because your spirit is tuned to divine time, not earthly pace. In a world obsessed with imitation, your authenticity is rebellion. The light doesn't mass-produce originals, it crafts one-of-a-kind vessels. You are one of those rare designs. You think differently, you sense differently, and sometimes that difference feels heavy, but it is holy. It's what allows you to see what others overlook, to feel what others ignore. There is a sacred loneliness that comes with being chosen. It's the silence before assignment, the isolation before impact. Heaven keeps you hidden until you are ready, not because you're forgotten, but because you're valuable. Gems are formed in pressure and kept in darkness until they shine rightly. Every time you tried to fit in, you felt a quiet resistance. That wasn't rejection, it was protection. God would not allow you to shrink to fit a version of yourself that He never authored. You were made to disrupt mediocrity. You are a divine contradiction, gentle but powerful, humble but unshakable, unseen but unstoppable. There's a sacred tension inside you, the longing to belong, and the knowing that you never fully will. You are in the world, but not of it. Your citizenship is heaven's. The pull you feel is not confusion, it's homesickness for the divine. You are not meant to find full comfort here because comfort would make you complacent. Chosen one, you must understand uniqueness costs something. It costs misunderstanding, isolation, even temporary loneliness. But what you gain in exchange is divine intimacy. You hear God differently because you walk a path few dare to walk. You see purpose in pain where others see only chaos. You are tuned to frequencies of faith that the world calls foolishness. And while others are chasing recognition, heaven is clothing you with revelation. Your journey isn't about being noticed, it's about being known by the one who created you. You were handpicked for impact so deep that applause could never measure it. So stop apologizing for your difference. It's the evidence of your design. Stop mourning connections that couldn't hold your destiny. They were never meant to carry something so eternal. Walk with quiet confidence, knowing that every time you stand alone, heaven stands with you. You are not an outsider. You are an outlier placed intentionally beyond the reach of conformity. Every moment of solitude is shaping your spirit to carry something larger than yourself. The world may misunderstand you, but heaven recognizes you instantly. Remember this truth. Chosen one, you are not strange, you are strategic. You are not misplaced, you are positioned. You are not overlooked, you are preserved. The light that set you apart is the same light that will send you forth. And when the time comes, when the hidden becomes visible, those who once questioned your difference will see it for what it always was, divine distinction. Every closed door was divine timing. You didn't fail. You were redirected. Every unanswered prayer, every delayed promise, every no that felt like rejection. Heaven was never punishing you. It was protecting you. You thought you were waiting for opportunity, but opportunity was being perfected for you. There were times when doors slammed so suddenly it took your breath away. Relationships that felt stable crumbled overnight. Plans that seemed certain dissolved without warning. You asked, why would God let this happen? But the truth is, He saw what you couldn't. He closed what would have collapsed you later. We find in the book of Revelation, chapter 3, verse 7, what He opens, no one can shut, and what He shuts, no one can open. That verse carries the mystery of divine control. When heaven locks a door, it is not cruelty, it is mercy in disguise. Sometimes God protects your purpose by frustrating your plans. If every opportunity were open, you would walk into rooms not meant for your spirit. So He shuts some so you can walk through the right one whole. Chosen one. Your delays have been divine choreography. You think of them as wasted time, but they are sacred intervals. God uses waiting not to punish, but to prepare. There's growth happening beneath what you can see. The roots of your purpose are deepening in the soil of patience. Every not yet has been a holy pause. The light has been aligning things behind the curtain, timing, people, provision, peace, so that when your door opens, nothing will be missing. That's why you can't compare your journey to anyone else's. Your process was tailor-made for your purpose. When you look back, you'll realize how many doors were actually traps disguised as opportunities. Heaven blocked them because your destiny could not afford contamination. Some rejections were God's way of saying, you deserve better than this shortcut. What looked like a setback was divine preservation. You've been through seasons where your effort didn't match your outcome. You gave your best and still saw little fruit. But listen, the soil wasn't ready yet. The light doesn't waste seeds. It waits for the right season to make them bloom. Just because the door didn't open then doesn't mean it never will. Patience is the language of heaven. Every delay refines your discernment. You are learning to recognize not just good doors, but God doors. A good door can lead to distraction. A God door leads to destiny. And now, your spirit can tell the difference. Even the pain of waiting has purpose. It teaches humility, trust, and surrender. You've learned that you don't need to force outcomes, you only need to follow the flow of grace. And when grace moves, doors open effortlessly. Chosen one, never mistake movement for progress. Sometimes stillness is the greatest advancement of all. When heaven tells you to pause, it's because it's preparing something bigger than your imagination can handle. The light is aligning invisible hinges for visible miracles. You've seen how forcing open a door leads to frustration. You've learned that peace is the proof of permission. If peace leaves, it's not your door. When the time is right, the door won't resist you, it will recognize you. Destiny doesn't require breaking in. It responds to divine keys. Do not grieve what was shut. Celebrate it. Every no was clearing the path for your true yes. The light doesn't forget promises, it fulfills them at the perfect intersection of readiness and revelation. So breathe. Chosen one, heaven's timing has never failed. The same hand that closed one door is already crafting another. When it opens, you won't have to knock twice. Everything you thought you lost will meet you there, restored and multiplied. Right now, stand still in the hallway. Praise God in the in-between. The waiting room is not empty, it's sacred space. The silence is filled with divine construction. You are closer to breakthrough than your eyes can see. And when that door finally opens, it will make sense. You'll thank God for every no, every pause, every detour that protected your destiny. You will realize it wasn't delay, it was direction. Comment, I trust heaven. Type it as a declaration. Not for the algorithm, but for your own heart. It means, even when I don't understand, I will stay aligned. Let those words become the key that fits every future door. The reminder that the light never forgets its chosen ones. When you comment, "I trust heaven," you're not just writing words, you're releasing control. It's your spirit's way of saying, I don't need to see everything to believe something. Trust turns waiting into worship. Silence into sanctuary, delay into design. I trust heaven means you stop wrestling with closed doors and start resting in divine wisdom. It's a declaration that peace matters more than proof, that faith still works even when answers are hidden. It's the language of surrender, not defeat. When you write, "I trust heaven," angels record it as agreement. You're aligning your steps with the timing of God Himself, telling heaven, "I'm ready for what's next," whenever you are. The shepherd's call to the outcast chosen one. That's where you belong, not among the celebrated, but among the sought after. When heaven chose to announce the birth of the king, it didn't visit kings or scholars first. It came to shepherds, lonely men on silent hills, forgotten by cities, but remembered by heaven. That's the kind of heart God still looks for. The world may call you ordinary, but heaven calls you ready. You've lived in the background long enough, caring for things no one noticed, staying faithful in fields no one applauded. But that's what qualified you. You were tending sheep when heaven decided to speak, as written in the Gospel of Luke, chapter 2, verse 10. But the angel said to them, "Do not be afraid. I bring you good news that will cause great joy for all the people." That moment was the divine reversal. Heaven bypassed the palaces and descended into the pasture. The light has always preferred humility over hierarchy. And today, that same light calls your name in the same gentle way it called those shepherds, without noise, without conditions, only invitation. Only, you see, the shepherds weren't looking for angels that night. They were simply doing their work, quietly, faithfully. And that's when heaven interrupted their ordinary. That's how God moves. He steps into the routine and makes it radiant. You never have to chase divine encounters. They find you when your heart is faithful. You've been carrying out quiet duties while feeling unseen. Yet the light has been watching. Heaven loves to surprise the overlooked. It doesn't announce greatness through microphones, but through hearts that still listen in the dark. You are that heart. The fields you've been standing in are about to echo with announcement. The message of the angels was simple good news for all. But the first ones to hear it were the ones no one expected. The same pattern continues. Heaven still sends its greatest revelations to the ones who are humble enough to receive them. Chosen one, this is your call. You don't need a crown to carry the message. You need compassion. You don't need a stage. You need surrender. The light is asking you to carry hope wherever you go, to your workplace, your home, your conversations. You become a shepherd of peace, leading others to still waters. And as this message finds you, let your heart breathe a little deeper. You are not too late, not too lost, not too little. Heaven knows exactly where you are standing, and it sends its angels to meet you there. The light has found you in your own field. When you feel that warmth rise within, don't rush it. Let it stay. That warmth is more than emotion, it is encounter. It is God reminding you that your life still has meaning, that your presence still carries purpose. If this message has touched something inside you, consider helping the light reach another lonely hill. Each time you like, share, or subscribe, it's as if you lift a torch higher so that another searching soul can see. You're not promoting content, you're passing light. And if your heart stirs deeper, If gratitude whispers softly in your spirit, you may choose to donate. Think of it not as payment, but as participation. Every seed given becomes another lantern placed in someone else's darkness. Your giving is like a bridge of light, connecting your blessing to another's breakthrough. There is no pressure here, only invitation. True giving is like rain, it doesn't ask permission. It simply nourishes what's ready to grow, whether it's a small gesture or a quiet gift. What matters is the heart behind it. Each act of support becomes a melody in heaven's song of mercy. Perhaps your giving today is not even about money, it's about time, attention, prayer, kindness. These are currencies heaven values most. But if your heart feels that nudge to pour into this work, know that every drop of your generosity becomes oil for the flame that keeps glowing through these words. Your support is like wind in a flame. It doesn't create the fire, but it helps it breathe. You are part of this sacred exchange, where your light strengthens another's. So as you reflect tonight, let gratitude rise like incense. You are seen, chosen, and loved enough to be included in heaven's story. You are no longer standing on the outskirts. You've been called into divine company. Like, share, and subscribe so that this light keeps traveling. And if the Spirit whispers to give, let it be your quiet yes to something beautiful. Not obligation, not expectation. Just love responding to love. You are the shepherd now, the one entrusted to carry the message forward. Keep the flame alive. The same light that found them on a cold night now finds you here, in this sacred moment of quiet invitation. Every act of sharing becomes a spark carried by the wind of grace. Somewhere, a heart trembling in the dark will see your light and remember hope is still alive, and heaven still speaks through you. The war you didn't see. Chosen one was the fiercest one ever fought for your peace. You felt the pressure, the confusion, the weight on your chest, but you never saw the invisible hands that held you when the darkness pressed in. What you thought was just another hard day was actually a battlefield where heaven was defending your destiny. You wondered why exhaustion hit so suddenly, why peace seemed to vanish without reason. But every time your mind spiraled, every time anxiety whispered louder than prayer, something unseen was happening. Angels were standing guard. The light was pushing back shadows you couldn't name, as revealed in the book of Daniel, chapter 10, verse 12. Then he continued, "Do not be afraid, for from the first day that you set your mind to gain understanding and to humble yourself before your God, your words were heard, and I have come in response to them. Even when you felt your prayers were hitting the ceiling, they were echoing in heaven's courts." The delay was never denial. It was resistance being broken. The war for your mind, your peace, your purpose was raging in realms your eyes could not see. You didn't realize it, but your endurance became your weapon. Every time you refused to quit, heaven advanced another step on your behalf. There were nights when you thought you were simply crying. In truth, you were summoning strength. Every tear you shed became a signal flare in the spirit realm, alerting heaven that one of its soldiers was still standing, still believing. Angels do not respond to pride, they respond to perseverance. That is why you are still here, because you refuse to lay down your sword of faith. Chosen one, you have been in battles that left no visible scars but deep spiritual bruises. You fought wars in silence, trying to hold yourself together while everything unseen tried to pull you apart. The fatigue wasn't weakness, it was warfare. You weren't being punished, you were being proven. The light allowed certain pressures not to break you, but to build spiritual muscle. You are not fragile, you are forged. You've learned that true strength is not loud, it's consistent. You survive not by might, but by mercy. And mercy is the weapon darkness cannot imitate. Every time you chose forgiveness over fury, you disarmed the enemy. Every time you worshipped while weary, you invited heaven to invade your atmosphere. Every whisper of God, I trust you, shook unseen foundations. The devil doesn't fear loud believers. He fears steady ones, those who keep standing when the storm says fall. This war wasn't about people. It was about purpose. That's why attacks came through familiar faces, because the enemy could not access your destiny directly. So he tried to distract it emotionally. But heaven knew. And even when you didn't understand why certain things hurt so deeply, the light was reordering every wound into wisdom. You've come through more than you realize. The depression that tried to drown you was actually revealing your depth. The loneliness that stretched you was actually expanding your empathy. The silence that scared you was actually sharpening your discernment. You were being trained for something greater than survival. You were being prepared to carry peace. There are victories you've already won that your mind hasn't yet recognized. The thoughts that used to dominate you now pass like fading echoes. The patterns that used to enslave you now crumble at your awareness. That's transformation, not coincidence. The light has been rebuilding you from the inside out. Chosen one, understand this: the fiercest attacks often come before promotion. The darker the night, the nearer the dawn, the greater the warfare, the deeper the anointing waiting on the other side. You were not meant to escape battle, you were meant to embody victory. That's why you can walk through fire and come out glowing, not burned. And though the war is unseen, its fruit is visible. People will sense something different about you: peace that doesn't make sense, wisdom that feels ancient, calm that silences chaos. That's the fragrance of someone who has walked through unseen wars and come out carrying light. There will still be moments when the air feels heavy, when confusion tries to return. But now you know better. You are no longer a victim of invisible forces. You are a vessel of divine authority. The same angels that once defended you now march beside you. The same light that once protected you now shines through you. Every scar in your spirit is sacred proof that you fought well. You may have bent, but you never broke. You may have wept, but you never walked away. And heaven celebrates that more than any earthly victory. The unseen war forged a visible warrior. You are not the same person who entered the storm. The light has trained your hands for peace, your heart for compassion, your eyes for discernment. You carry something holy now, an awareness that nothing unseen can overcome what has already been redeemed. So when you feel the pressure again, don't panic. Stand still. Remember this truth: peace isn't the absence of war, it's the presence of the light in the midst of it. And the light within you is undefeated. He waited until you were ready. Not until you were perfect, not until you had it all together, but until your heart softened enough to listen. Heaven doesn't rush transformation, it matures it. God never wastes his light on unready soil. He waits until surrender makes the ground fertile. You've wondered why some prayers lingered unanswered, why some dreams stayed on hold, why opportunities didn't move when you did. It wasn't delay, it was divine patience. Heaven was giving you space to grow into the version of yourself that could sustain the blessing. The light doesn't just deliver, it develops. As the prophet wrote in the scroll of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not delay. Chosen one, the promise didn't die, it waited for your alignment. There were seasons when you would have mishandled what you were praying for, not out of rebellion, but from immaturity. You wanted the door open, but heaven wanted your foundation secure. When the light calls you higher, it first roots you deeper. Look back now, and you'll see the mercy in the waiting. The detours were not punishment, they were preservation. The not yets were heaven's way of saying, not like this. You were being refined quietly, shaped in solitude, hidden on purpose. The same way a diamond must rest in darkness before its reveal. You were being polished for visibility. You thought you were forgotten, but you were being formed. You thought God was silent, but he was sculpting something too detailed for quick completion. Every heartbreak became a lesson in discernment. Every delay trained your patience. Every unanswered prayer carved space for revelation. Heaven doesn't rush masterpieces, it unveils them at perfect moments. When you finally stopped striving, peace came rushing in. That was the signal heaven had been waiting for, not your strength, but your stillness. You learned that surrender is not weakness, it's wisdom. The moment you let go of how it should happen, God began to reveal how it will. Chosen one, do you see how ready you've become? You no longer chase validation like oxygen. You no longer need applause to affirm your anointing. You have learned to be content in the quiet, anchored in faith that doesn't demand evidence. That is spiritual maturity, the kind that makes heaven rejoice. It was never about speed, it was about stewardship. God isn't impressed with how fast you move, he's pleased with how faithfully you stay. You are walking proof that waiting works. Every moment of delay prepared your hands to hold glory without trembling. And now you can sense it, the atmosphere shifting, the light leaning closer. You are stepping into answered prayers that no longer scare you. The blessings that once felt too big now fit perfectly because your spirit has expanded. You are finally aligned with your assignment. Heaven is not late, it's precise. It waited until you could recognize the difference between good and God, between noise and calling, between opportunity and destiny. You were not being punished, you were being positioned. Chosen one. What's arriving now won't feel forced. It will flow. The doors that open will recognize your name. The favor that comes will fit like a tailored robe. Nothing will need to be chased. Everything will be attracted by alignment. So when the light begins to move, walk boldly. You've already passed the test of waiting, which is the hardest of all. You are no longer waiting for the right time. You are the right time. The version of you that heaven was waiting for is here. You don't need to beg for timing anymore. You need to believe you've reached it. The delay didn't deny you, it designed you. Now, every step you take will echo with readiness. Every word you speak will carry authority earned through endurance. And as a prophetic act of agreement with heaven's timing, comment the number 333 below. It symbolizes divine completion and perfect alignment between the Father, the Son, and the Spirit. Heaven's reminder that your waiting season has fulfilled its purpose. Type it with peace, not pressure. Let 333 be your spiritual signature, saying, I am ready now, because you are, and heaven has already begun to move. When you comment 333, you're declaring that your spirit, your purpose, and your timing have finally aligned. It's a sacred symbol of divine harmony, heaven, earth, and your soul moving in one direction under the light's command. 333 means you are no longer waiting on the promise. The promise is waiting on you to walk forward. It is heaven's quiet nod that says, the preparation is complete, the path is clear, and peace is your permission to begin. So when you type 333, see it as your covenant of readiness. You're not asking God to act, you're agreeing that He already has. It's your signature under heaven's timing, your whisper saying, I'm aligned, I'm awake, and I'm ready. The gift inside your wounds, chosen one, has always been there. It was simply hidden beneath layers of pain and time. The world told you to cover your scars, but heaven says to uncover them. because they are not marks of shame. They are maps to purpose. Every ache, every heartbreak, every silent night of endurance has been shaping something sacred within you. You once believed healing meant forgetting. You tried to erase memories that hurt too deeply to hold. But healing was never about erasing, it was about transforming. Pain was the chiseling hand that carved depth into your compassion. Suffering gave you the language to speak to other broken hearts. You didn't lose yourself in pain. You discovered a deeper version of yourself through it. It is written in the second letter to the Corinthians, chapter 12, verse 9. My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. These words carry the essence of divine paradox that what the world calls weakness, heaven calls a doorway. God doesn't need your strength. He shines best through the cracks. The light you now carry is brighter because it shines through places once shattered. Chosen one. Remember when you felt like your heart couldn't take one more disappointment, when every prayer felt unanswered, every effort unacknowledged. That breaking point wasn't destruction, it was delivery. The moment you thought you were falling apart, heaven was helping you fall into alignment. There's something holy about a wound surrendered. Pain can either harden or heal, and you chose healing. You let grace touch the tender places even when it hurt, and in doing so, you transformed every scar into testimony. You no longer hide your wounds, you hold them like trophies of survival, proof that grace did not fail. Your wounds are no longer reminders of weakness, they are proof of resurrection. They tell the story of nights you thought would never end, and mornings that came anyway. They speak of valleys that didn't consume you, of fires that refined but didn't burn you. You are not who you were before the pain, and that's the gift. The broken pieces of your life have become stained glass through which light now passes in colors the world has never seen. What once bled has become beautiful. Your empathy, your gentleness, your patience, all were born in pain's classroom. The very experiences you thought disqualified you have become your ministry to others. Chosen one. There is purpose even in the punctures. The wound you carry in your heart is not a flaw, it's a window. When you speak from it, others recognize authenticity. They trust your voice not because it's polished, but because it's pierced. Real power doesn't come from perfection. It comes from scars that still shine. God never wastes pain. He repurposes it. Your heartbreak trained you to love deeply. Your betrayal taught you discernment. Your loss taught you gratitude. Every ache carried instruction. Now, you can look at what once wounded you and say, "It served me." What tried to destroy you ended up developing you. The light that once seemed distant is now personal. You understand it differently because you met it in the dark. The same tears that once blurred your vision have now cleared it. You see life more tenderly, people more kindly, and yourself more truthfully. You have become the comfort you once begged for. Chosen one. It's time to stop hiding the story of how you healed. Your scars carry songs only the broken can understand. When you tell them, you don't glorify the pain, you glorify the healer. The light flows through transparency, not pretense. Your honesty is your ministry now. You don't need to prove your strength. Your scars already speak of it. Every mark says, "I've been there." But grace was greater. You have walked through the valley and found your voice in its echo. That is the divine exchange. Pain becomes purpose. Loss becomes language. Wounds become windows of wonder. Even now, heaven looks at you not with pity but with pride. You endured, and in doing so, you became evidence of divine endurance. The world sees your calm, but heaven sees your climb the nights of silent battle. the tears that turned into oil for your calling. Your wounds no longer bind you, they bless you. They open doors to connection, to empathy, to wisdom. You carry healing now because you know how to hold pain without letting it define you. The very things that once broke you have made you unbreakable, so let the light keep shining through your scars. Don't rush to cover them. They are your credentials in the kingdom of grace. You are not a product of your pain. You are the purpose that pain produced. Your scars are sermons the world needs to hear. Every healed wound speaks louder than words, declaring that grace always finishes what pain began. Let your life become living proof that brokenness can still bloom. The light inside you now turns every former wound into a window of wonder. The crown hidden in your obedience, chosen one. This is the mystery that heaven keeps for its most faithful. Crowns are not placed on proud heads. They rest upon surrendered ones. You have worn humility when ego could have spoken louder, and that humility has built your unseen throne. The world may have mistaken your silence for weakness, but heaven knows it as strength. You have obeyed even when it cost you comfort. You have walked away from opportunities that glittered but didn't align. You've chosen the narrow path over the easy one, the whispered yes. Lord over applause. Every act of quiet obedience has been weaving gold into your unseen crown. The apostle reminds us in his letter to the Philippians chapter 2 verse 8, and being found in appearance as a man, he humbled himself by becoming obedient to death, even death on a cross. Obedience is not about rules. It's about relationship. It's not blind submission, it's sacred alignment. It's trusting the light even when the road turns dark, believing that God's ways are higher even when they feel harder. True obedience always feels like sacrifice before it feels like reward. Chosen one, you've experienced that tension, the tug between your will and His will. You've felt the sting of surrender, the ache of letting go. But what you didn't see was that every surrender was crowning you with wisdom. Every act of trust was strengthening your spirit's spine. Obedience has been your refining fire. It burned away pride, impatience, and the need for control. You've learned that sometimes obedience means staying when you want to run, and other times it means leaving when staying feels easier. Heaven honors both when they come from love. Your obedience in secret has moved more in heaven than many public prayers. You said yes to uncomfortable growth, yes to hidden service, yes to waiting well. The light noticed. Every quiet yes echoed louder in heaven than 1,000 shouted promises. Obedience is rarely glamorous. It often looks like loneliness, stillness, or even loss. But underneath it, miracles take root. The soil of obedience grows eternal fruit, the kind that doesn't fade with applause. You may not have realized it, but each yes you whispered became a step toward your divine coronation. The world rewards ambition, heaven rewards obedience. Ambition builds towers, obedience builds temples. Ambition seeks validation, obedience seeks presence. And the more you've chosen presence, the more you've become a resting place for peace itself. That is your royalty, the ability to carry peace where others carry pride. You've wondered why your path has felt slower, harder, lonelier. It's because heaven doesn't crown quickly, it crowns correctly. Before it places authority on your head, it plants humility in your heart. You are not being delayed. You were being developed into someone who could wear influence without it wearing you down. Chosen one, do you see it now? Your obedience has already shaped your crown. It's invisible to others, but the Spirit recognizes it. Each time you forgave when you could have retaliated, another jewel was set. Each time you chose integrity when no one was watching, another gold thread was woven. The crown is not an object, it's a posture. It's the peace that follows surrender, the authority that flows from humility, the confidence that rests in trust. You wear it every time you choose light over bitterness, every time you keep walking when no one claps. The greatest kings and queens in heaven's eyes are not those with armies, but those who rule their hearts with grace. You've learned to govern your emotions, to respond instead of react, to serve instead of demand. That's the true sign of spiritual royalty, self-control born from surrender. You were never meant to chase crowns made of metal. You were made to carry one made of mercy. The light crowns those who can be trusted with gentleness. It places authority on those who have proven they will use it to heal, not to boast. And soon, others will notice not your pride, but your peace. They'll sense something regal in the way you move, something steady in the way you speak. That's the mark of the crowned calm in chaos, gracious in trial, unshaken by applause or accusation. Your obedience has written your legacy in unseen ink. The crown you wear will not glitter under earthly lights, but it will shine under heaven's gaze. When you speak, peace will follow. When you walk, purpose will ripple. So hold your head gently, chosen one. You're already wearing what others strive for. The crown is not coming, it's already resting on you. It was placed there the moment you decided that obedience was better than control. Heaven has watched every surrender, every sacrifice, every small act of faithfulness, and it smiles. The light crowns those who bow low, for humility is heaven's true royalty. You, beloved, have bowed beautifully. Every humble choice became a jewel, every surrender a spark of gold. Your quiet yes has already built the crown that eternity recognizes as royal. You are not behind, you are becoming. Every delay has been a design, every pause a preparation, every detour a divine redirection. The light never measures you by time, but by transformation. What looks like delay in human eyes is often acceleration in heaven's language. You were never late, chosen one. You were simply being refined for the fullness of your assignment. You've watched others rise quickly while your path felt painfully slow. You've questioned why doors opened for them while you waited in silence. But the truth is, this fast fruit often fades quickly, while deeply rooted trees bear for generations. God wasn't denying your progress, He was deepening your roots. It is written in the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 11. He has made everything beautiful in its time. Chosen one, read that again, in its time. Not before, not after, but perfectly on time. The light has been weaving your story with deliberate care. What seemed like stillness was actually synchronization. Every unanswered question, every closed door, every quiet season has been aligning unseen pieces for an appointed hour. Becoming is not easy. It feels like breaking before it feels like building. You've been shedding old versions of yourself, releasing familiar things that no longer fit. The process has been painful, yes, but it's also been holy. You were never stuck. You were being shaped. The butterfly doesn't fail when it's in the cocoon, it's simply becoming unrecognizable to its former self. Do not despise the slowness of your story. The light is not in a hurry. Eternity never rushes. The most beautiful things in creation grow quietly, mountains rising, stars forming, hearts healing. That's what has been happening inside you, silent transformation. And now, heaven leans close and whispers, "You're ready." The waiting wasn't punishment, it was preparation for responsibility. You have been entrusted with patience, the rarest crown of all. You can now hold blessings without trembling. Love without losing yourself, shine without burning out. Your becoming is the testimony. You are no longer chasing outcomes, you're embodying growth. The light delights in this version of you, the one who has learned to stand in storms and still sing. You have become a living parable of endurance. If these words find a home in your heart, let your small gestures become seeds. Like, not because you must, but because you agree with the light that growth deserves celebration. Share, not because you're told to, but because someone else might need the reminder that their waiting is not wasted. Every act of engagement is like tossing a pebble of light into the vast waters of the world. Ripples of hope reaching unseen shores. And if your soul feels stirred, if something sacred whispers in you to support this work, do so gently, freely. Your donation is not a demand. It's a metaphor, a river flowing back to the spring that nourished you. When you give, you're saying, let this stream of light keep running through others. It's not a transaction, it's transformation. Think of your gift as planting a tree in unseen soil. You may never sit beneath its shade, but countless others will. You water what once watered you, and heaven always multiplies that kind of love. Your generosity, in whatever form it takes, your time, your attention, your words, your resources, is sacred. It tells the light, I want this flame to keep burning. No one is counting the size of your offering. Heaven only counts the sincerity behind it. Your support is like oil poured into a lantern. It keeps the message glowing for those still walking in night. If you can feel peace while giving, then you are giving in the right spirit. And if you can't give right now, your prayer, your listening, your quiet presence are gifts too. The light multiplies every sincere intention. All that matters is that your heart stays open to the flow of grace. Chosen one, you have come far. You are not behind, you are unfolding. Every day you wake up and choose to hope again. You become more of what heaven saw in you from the start. So if this message has touched you, like it, share it. Subscribe to stay near the well where the words keep flowing, and if your heart feels moved, donate not out of duty but out of delight. Let it be your way of saying, I choose to keep the light alive, because the truth is, your becoming is not just about you, then it's about every soul your light will touch next. When you write, I keep becoming, you're not just leaving a comment, you're breathing agreement into your own transformation. It means, I am not finished, but I'm faithfully unfolding. I keep becoming is heaven's favorite confession. It silences shame, reminding you that progress is sacred even when it's slow. It's the melody of grace humming through your growth. So type I keep becoming as your declaration of gentle defiance, telling darkness it cannot define you, telling destiny you're still in motion, and telling heaven you will not stop evolving under the light. The light that chose you chooses still. Even in your doubt, even in your drift, even in your silence, it never left. You may have thought you wandered too far or dimmed too low, but the light never stopped searching for you. Love doesn't withdraw when you fall, it draws nearer. It waits at the edge of your hesitation, whispering, I'm still here. There have been moments when you felt distant from faith, when prayer felt like talking into air, when hope seemed smaller than fear. Yet even there, the light did not scold, it stayed. Heaven has a way of standing quietly beside you until your heart remembers what peace feels like. You see, chosen one, divine love doesn't choose once, it keeps choosing. Over and over, again and again, until your resistance melts into remembrance. The same grace that found you in your lowest valley will find you again in your weary climb. You may change, but the light's decision about you never does. It was proclaimed in the second letter to Timothy, chapter 2, verse 13. If we are faithless, he remains faithful, for he cannot deny himself. That verse isn't just a comfort, it's a covenant. It means your inconsistency doesn't cancel your calling. The light's loyalty is not conditional, it's covenantal. God doesn't love you because of your performance. He loves you because of his nature. He cannot stop being what he is faithful. Every time you've pulled away, grace has followed quietly. Every time you've tried to start over, heaven has already been waiting at the starting line. The distance you feel is often perception, not position. The light doesn't retreat. It simply waits until your heart stops running in circles. You have mistaken silence for absence. But silence was space for you to breathe, to feel, to grow. Sometimes the light steps back, not to leave you, but to let you notice how much you already carry within. Faith is not about never doubting. It's about choosing to stay, even when doubt tries to drive you away. Chosen one. Remember those times when you almost gave up completely, when everything felt meaningless, when even your prayers sounded hollow, yet somehow, something inside you kept flickering a tiny spark, refusing to die. That wasn't you holding on to God. It was God holding on to you. You didn't maintain the connection grace did. Love has never needed your perfection to persist. It only needs your permission to enter again. And the moment you whisper, "I'm still willing," the light rushes back in like dawn after a long night. You are never too far gone for redemption to reach you. Sometimes you think the light has moved on to brighter, better souls. But heaven does not operate in competition, it operates in compassion. The same God who lifted you the first time is still patient enough to lift you again. There is no expiry on grace. The light that chose you when you were weak still chooses you now that you are wiser. It doesn't stop at salvation, it walks with you through sanctification. It doesn't just rescue, it rebuilds. Every scar you carry, every season you survived, is proof that grace stayed when everything else walked away. There are days when you won't feel chosen, when your reflection looks tired and your spirit feels dull. But light is not dependent on feeling it's a fact. The sun doesn't stop shining because clouds appear. In the same way, the light never stops radiating through you, even when shadows seem stronger. Heaven's love is stubborn. It refuses to quit even when you do. It will find you in your wandering thoughts, in your restless nights, in your quiet guilt, and it will whisper, "Still mine." That whisper is your reminder that you were loved before you could prove anything, and you remain loved beyond all proving. The light that chose you has no plan. B. It doesn't reconsider its choice based on your performance. It knew every weakness before it called you, and still, it said yes. It saw your flaws and still decided you were worth pursuing. You cannot outrun what is omnipresent. Even now, if you close your eyes, you can sense it, the quiet warmth returning, not demanding, just inviting. That is how divine love moves, gentle, patient, unrelenting. It doesn't shout, it surrounds, it doesn't accuse, it awakens. It reminds you that belonging was never revoked, only forgotten. Chosen one, the light will never stop choosing you because it never started by chance. It started by covenant. You may fall, you may wander, you may question, but you will never be abandoned. Grace is not fragile, it is eternal. So breathe again. Let your guard lower. The same hands that shaped the stars are still holding you steady. You have not lost the light, it lives inside you, waiting for your awareness to return. When you finally whisper yes again, don't imagine you are reigniting something lost. You are simply uncovering what has been burning quietly all along. You have always been chosen, and you always will be. The return to stillness. The glory revealed chosen one. This is the moment all your seasons have been leading toward. Every quiet night, every tear, every surrender has been gathering into this sacred hush. It's not the ending, it's the unveiling. Heaven has been waiting for you to see what it has always seen, that the light which came without noise has now found its full reflection within you. There's a silence that doesn't feel empty, it feels alive. That's the stillness you're standing in now. It isn't absence, it's presence refined. You no longer need thunder to recognize God's voice, nor miracles to prove His nearness. You've learned that glory often walks softly, and revelation rarely needs volume. The light doesn't arrive, it awakens. The voice of God thundered in the book of Exodus, chapter 14, verse 14. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. Stillness is not passivity, it's power disguised as peace. It's the place where striving dies and strength is reborn. You've fought battles long enough to know that victory isn't always noise and motion. Sometimes the greatest faith is found in your quiet trust. Chosen one, this stillness you feel is holy ground. It's not the silence of exhaustion, it's the silence after the storm, the breath after the battle. You can finally hear heaven's heartbeat because the noise of fear has faded. The same light that guided you through chaos now crowns you in calm. Everything you've endured has been bringing you here to this moment of knowing without needing. You no longer chase proof because peace itself has become your evidence. You no longer beg for direction because you've learned how to listen. Stillness has become your sanctuary, and in it, you have become the reflection of glory. You can look back now and see the pattern, the broken places that became blessings, the dark nights that grew your discernment, the unanswered prayers that birthed wisdom. Nothing was wasted, everything was woven. The light has been composing your life like a song, each silence, each note, perfectly placed for harmony only heaven could hear. You once feared stillness because you equated it with stagnation, but now you understand its sacred suspense, not absence. God pauses what He loves, not to punish, but to perfect. Stillness is where roots deepen and revelation descends. You were not waiting for God to move, He was waiting for you to stop running. And now that you've stopped, He can finally show you what He was building while you were busy surviving. The glory you carry is quiet, but undeniable. You feel it in the way your peace no longer depends on circumstances, in the way your words carry weight, in the way your presence calms chaos. That's what happens when light settles fully inside its chosen vessel. The light came without noise that first night in Bethlehem, and it enters your heart the same way now, gently, but unforgettably. It doesn't need an audience, it needs agreement. And your agreement has already been given through every yes you whispered, every tear you offered, every breath you surrendered. Chosen one. This is what transformation truly looks like, not spectacle, but serenity. The loudest glory is quiet confidence. The brightest shine is peace under pressure. The holiest sound is the stillness of a heart that finally trusts its maker completely. You are no longer who you were at the beginning of this journey. You have become the evidence of divine craftsmanship. The light that once called your name from afar now speaks from within you. You don't have to look for signs anymore, you've become one. Your stillness now radiates strength. Your peace has become your power. The light through you will reach others without words, because true glory doesn't announce itself. It arrives as presence, as warmth, as quiet conviction. The world may still spin in noise, but you found the rhythm beneath it, the steady pulse of eternity whispering through time. You've learned that peace isn't the absence of storms, but the awareness of light within them. You are the calm in the chaos now, the living proof that grace completes what pain begins. Heaven calls this moment the return, the place where the chosen one and the light become indistinguishable. You are no longer just the seeker. You are the reflection. You carry Bethlehem within your breath, resurrection within your steps, and redemption in your gaze. The light came without noise, but now it roars through you silently, steadily, eternally. Every shadow you once feared now bows to the glow you embody. You have become the fulfillment of the whisper that started it all. Let there be light. And there was because you answered. The echo of that first creation still hums in your chest, proving that the same voice that spoke galaxies now breathes purpose through you. Every sunrise now mirrors your spirit's renewal. You are not chasing the light anymore. You are carrying it. Wherever you step, darkness surrenders, because heaven recognizes its own reflection in you. Beloved chosen one, if these words have found a home in your heart, let them keep glowing beyond this moment. What you carry now isn't just inspiration, it's illumination. The light that entered quietly has awakened loudly inside you. And though this message ends here, its echo will keep traveling through every choice, every kindness, every small act of faith that you give to the world. If this journey touched you, let your light ripple outward. Like this message, not as a habit, but as a way of saying, I receive the light. Share it with someone who needs to be reminded that their stillness also holds glory. A single share is like passing a lantern through the dark. It multiplies warmth without losing its own glow. Subscribe if your heart longs to stay near these gentle whispers of heaven. Think of it as returning to the same well where the water never runs dry, a place to drink again when the world grows loud and faith feels faint. And if gratitude stirs in you, if peace feels like something you want to extend, consider giving, not because you must, but because love always finds a way to overflow. Your donation is not currency, it's continuity. A drop of oil in the lamp that helps this light reach other weary travelers. Whether it's a prayer, a gift, or a moment of reflection, each offering becomes part of the flame that continues to shine. So let this be your quiet yes to the light, to live it, to share it, to keep it burning. Every gesture, no matter how small, becomes proof that the light came, and it chose to stay. You are the continuation of its story. Keep shining, chosen one.